I always go until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side, like others do. It's fucking right. I mean, we could just dance together. It's been a while. I thought I'd give you I mean, I've been trading. I mean, the market's been quiet, so there's not been a lot of temptation. But my trading has been fucking bang on. It's a shame I had to take that fucking bad loss. Like you guys know, I lost about 23,000. I've made about 5 of it back, so I've down like 17 grand off my highs. I can show you where I am. But I mean, I'm probably going to be very, very grateful for that loss because it just transformed the structure in the way that I'm trading. Very risk focused, very small size. But the most I've been down this month is unrealized or realized is $400. I've had 2 red days, but still like scooped up like 4.6K with next to no risk. So quiet market. So you'd expect, and very small size and quiet market. So you'd expect that if your biggest drawdown's $400, $500, and you can make 5 grand, that means you can make 10 times your biggest drawdown. So that means if my biggest drawdown was 5,000, I should be able to have a 50,000 month, just simply multiplying the strategy, just multiplying. And the other addition that I kind of put on, and then we can go through some stocks and some questions and say some hellos, but the other kind of main addition that I've made to me trading is, let's just close that. The other main addition I've got to me trading is like categorizing the patterns that I play and then developing a risk according. Like in the last 10 days, I've not broke $150 max risk ever, which is really good. So like my gap craps like made like 4 and a bit grand on this month. So I'm like giving myself a bit more risk in these. Whereas like Dan Irish's pattern, the motherfucker, I love the kid, but he's a fucking genius. He's a genius when it comes to stock trading, but I'm still yet to quite nail that kind of wedge break pattern that he teaches. Not that he's taught me, but like trying to get it off him, like sneaky things here and there, the odd chat with him. Gap crap reversals are a new kind of thing that are profitable. Leg 2 breakout multi-month buys also profitable. Like keep in mind the market's like slow. I mean, max risk is $50. So just to be like green on some long setups, really green on a bunch of short setups. That's just super cool. Like fucking 52-week highs, like they're a killer. Like red $500 short and 52-week highs. Like that's just some short and gappers, like gap to 52-week highs. It's just dumb. Like it's really dumb. I think one of them was a rule break like 2 weeks ago for $300, and then the rest is just daft. But like you can see, like short and gap and craps with resistance, four plus grand in 15 days or whatever, 16 days. shorting at 52-week highs is a complete reversal. Then it's not a profitable strategy to do that. And then there's just a couple of other things that I'm large caps. I think I'm actually green on this month after Facebook, which we can go into. But I mean, I can just my favorite trade, and then if you guys have got some trades to ask, we'll keep it kind of 15 minutes. But my favorite trade was of the day, I would say, was Facebook. And again, it's a tough market, but with Facebook, I love this. I see like quite a clear line. Sorry, I'm drawing it freehand. I shouldn't be, but there's a very clear line of where it's previous support or previous all-time highs that have been broke through. Previous resistance is now support, and we've got this nice double bottom on Facebook. And I can draw it actually straight this time. That translates really nicely onto this double bottom across 2 days. So really what I'm going for here, and like nothing's perfect, but as long as the big picture's on your side, you're all right. So as we've got this double bottom, my entry was around here, thinking, all right, this is your kind of higher low. And my risk was the beyond the low of the day, like the double bottom fails, or the low of day goes through. That was my risk. So you've got a nice trade like 297 for like you're risking like 50 cents, right? Like from the 297.90s, you're risking down to the 297.50s. So you're like risking like 50 cents. I was selling this up here. Once it hit 300, I took 2/3 off. So you can see how by risking 50 cents, you can pick up like $3. So that's like 3, 4, 5 to 1 on a trade. Like it's a brilliant trade. I'm still holding a third. And then when you look at Facebook in general, there's no reason why this support goes way back, but there's no reason this can't be a pullback and a push. And what kind of gave me conviction even more so to take this was the SPY today was, I mean, when you're at all-time highs, but when I took this, the SPY was rocketing. It's been rocketing all day. So if the overall markets are very strong, then there's no reason Facebook won't double bottom higher low and push off that previous resistance, which is now support. There's no reason it won't. Like, why would it not? The SPY's running well, and Facebook and all these higher price stocks generally follow the SPY. There's no reason why that double bottom's not going to hold. There's no reason why that's going to fall through. There's still, from what I can see, confidence in the market and in how it's performing. So that was kind of me trade of the day. I mean, GME is a similar idea. And then like I'm just fucking, I don't even like these trades. Like ATHE, it's just standard, like one and done, but it's just not even up enough. Like you've got your one and done, one and done, one and done. So like, I mean, there's nothing else to take. It wasn't a good risk reward trade, but I saw this kind of double top where you had the top here, and I didn't want to take it because it was easy to borrow. It was trading decent volume. But when we got the double top, I was like, all right, look, I'll just take 153, risking like 158. Like it's 5 cents. And hopefully I'll get like 20 cents. The fucker's only up 15%, so I'm barely going to get anything. But I saw, all right, 152. And I covered on like thinking pretty much the first lows in the 141. So again, like I made 10 cents and I was risking 52 to 58. So I made 10 cents to risk 8 cents. Like, it's not a good trade. But the likelihood of this failing was probably more than 50%. So, I mean, look, casinos make money by having the green on the roulette board. It's a 1% edge. And I would say that if I'm getting 7% for 7%, or I'm risking 7% for 9%, but it's a coin flip, I've still got 2%. Now, this works out over 1 million times and I become rich. So, like, as long as I've got any edge, like, I don't care what the edge is, as long as I've got any edge, I'm good with this trade. And as for this, like, it's quite funny. It's you you've definitely got this like nice wedge forming. I just clicked the wrong one. Definitely got this nice wedge forming, which is broke. Now, I don't know if I hold much hope for this. I think the daily's terrible. I can't see it squeezed, and I think the volume's not there. I think this is just a couple of shorts getting squeezed, but it's not really what I would call it, like a long move. Like I've been trading long pretty well. I didn't have any longs, decent longs today, but I was trading pretty well long yesterday. Yeah, and if you got any questions, let's hit it. Otherwise, we can call it. I don't mind. I know there probably isn't many questions because there's not many tickers. But well done, Proto. I actually also shorted ATHE and I shorted OCGN. I didn't make 500. I made a few hundred. Simply, I mean, OCGN's the same pattern, same style, same everything as ETH. I just didn't take size because they were just fucking shitty setups, not up that much. And when the market turns, if you get caught with size on something like this, you're gonna get smoked for all your gains. So if anyone's got any questions, drop them in. Otherwise, we'll call it. It's a shame it's my first live stream in a long time. I'm actually on here because Tim Bum was giving a shit saying I live stream every day on Twitter, and then I'm not on live stream. But it's cool to be on. It says Diamond White, but I know the name. What's up? Yeah, cut's good. Got a bit of a cut, got a bit of a tan. The weather's getting better. It's coming in good. Smashing the gym because obviously I've got a lot of free time. Just got some freelance work, but mostly I've got a few hours in the morning to smash the gym. So, Jackal, what's up? What's up, Clint? No real lessons. I think today is like a flat day off, $50. We're gonna have a quick look at GME. I'm still in GME. And I'm liking, is GME green before? Oh shit, look at that. Fucking love it. Absolutely love that. So GME I'm up on as well. And GME is like, we know on quiet days, like you've got to have a technical reason and a fundamental reason. And the fundamental reason is that GME, we know on quiet days this rips. Like it ripped obviously from the 15s or whatever to the 500s. So then, and it's like mid-range now. It's not at its highs. It's not at its lows. And we know that on quiet days, GME can pop. Like the same as on quiet days, TCAC can pop. Like or there's a ton of them. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but these quiet stocks can pop. And then when you just kind of also kind of check the technicals on GME, it's like it's gearing for its like next little squeeze. So like every now and then we'll have these bounces where shorts get stuck. Like this is a bounce, that's a bounce, there's a bounce. Like, and you get like, to the untrained eye, you'll not see them, but if you look for it, you'll see it. And like GME is due, like well overdue, like it's due to break out of this trend. And if you look at it like super close, it's like, all right, we've had like 1, 2, 3, 4 red days in a row now. Like potentially, I mean, if it breaks out of the 170s, it's explosive. But at the very least, if you look at the technical analysis, like really close in, you've got this wedge here, and I learned this from Dan Irish, but then you've also got this like wedge within the wedge. Well, like it's like popping, it's just starting to try and pop out of this like next level. So then after that, like, and this is kind of layers, I guess, but after that, I know that GME's been holding, like this is like a quadruple bottom. So I can't remember exactly where I got in. I think it might have been around here. I was thinking, all right, this has got a shot at going 158. And again, like I'm risking $1, but like I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10. And then I think, well, what's the likelihood of it happening? Probably not, but it's more likely it fails than it runs. Because you can see all these red days, it does fail more than it runs. But even if it's like it works 30% of the time, the risk reward is like 9, 10, 20 to 1 if it actually comes off. So I thought GME like was not a bad punt. That's a fake candle. I don't really like this little pull. I would have liked it to have held a bit better, but I mean, my risk is all the way down here and my entries here. Like I'm still up on the trade, all right. So that was yeah, Facebook long and GME long. And let's see what else you guys are asking about. Yes, Jackson, I'm in. Shakas, what's up, brother? Nice to see you in. SOS, no, I'm not. Should I be? I might hit some trades on trade zero. No, SOS is not a short. It's a long, if anything. That thing looks like it's geared to squeeze, if anything. And why would I short something up 20%? I mean, 0.20%. Temptations are strong. What's up, Crandy? Proto, no, I've got like 5 brokers going back over the years, 5, 6 brokers going over the years, but the only 2 that I try to use IB for longs because it's got good. I try to get an E-Trade because it's good for OTC comms, but ultimately now I really only use 2. I use Trade Zero and I use Speed Trader, and I'm happy with both, and I'm not planning on changing from either. Are you live? Yes, Proto, I am live. This is you. This is me, and we're talking right now. Addy, fucking hell, haven't seen you for a long time. UAVS, dude, fucking no, they're not all popping. None of them are popping at all. Nothing in the market is popping right now. UAVS, to be fair, first one. Good daily history of running. We're kind of bagged down here, and the float's 62 million. So got a bunch of bag holders, but I don't mind that kind of breakout if it comes through. Nice. All right, I see what you're saying with UAVS. That's certainly like whether it's a breakout or a squeeze on news or whatever. It's weird because we're still coming really into resistance. I can't see how that would be a squeeze. It's obviously news coming out with the million buy. Is there anything on stocks to trade? 1203. This is why stocks trades cool. You find out it straight away. Yeah, I'm not going to open it up, but some news came at 1203, and it popped like pretty soon after or at the same time. Is that the 21st? Yeah. So news has come out and it's popped. Something to do with investors. Well, unless you got that pop though, you're not trading it. FSR and Riot. Let's have a very quick look. All right, we'll only do this one because we're running a bit slow. I fucking really need to buy a computer. Again, the FSR, like I like this chart more. Like I like these big green days. Chart, pretty bad chart. It's too choppy for me, that one. I don't really love them. But fair play, they're kind of popping. I used to use hotkeys and I used to be like in and out dead fast. But what I found, sorry, I'm showing you like the screen that you're looking at. It's easier just to do this, yeah. I used to use hotkeys, but I don't really do it anymore. Like I used to be like in and out like in a couple of seconds and stuff like that. Now I'm just more. I'll play the big picture and that's it. And I'm doing better like that. The reactions on the camera seem a bit 2 seconds too slow. Trading for 4 years, probably about 4 years now. In first 2 years, I lost completely. Third year, I was profitable, but then I'd take the odd couple of daft losses, so I'd end up being break even. Then the fourth year, I made like I turned $600 into like 67,000 in my fourth year. Then in my 5th year, which is this year, I guess, I'm up about 15,000, I think, right now. I would have been up about 40, but then I took a stupid loss, which changed my trading style to be much more risk first. What are your thoughts on the current slower market, and when do you expect it to pick up pace again? Well, I mean, we had a crazy 3 or 4 months, so it's expected that we're gonna have like 6 weeks of like pull in the small caps. But it's just a case of when a small cap ticker ignites a sector or ignites small caps. Just like, honestly, anything can happen. Like NFTs, you just need something to catch fire. I can't see it going beyond 1 or 2 weeks. I think we're going to go back to absolute craziness in the next week or two. I can't see it lasting. I've never gone through a slow period that's lasted more than a month. And with the recent influx of traders, there's absolutely no way it's going to continue like this. I think we've got another week or two max. And I think that there's a bunch of like first quarter earnings coming out. So that'll get things going. Yeah. With TradeZero, if you check my Twitter profile, TradeZero are particularly good for smaller accounts. I could never afford a bigger account. But TradeZero give us the hard to borrow stocks with a smaller account. So for smaller accounts, like TradeZero is like the fucking broker, especially if you're not from the US. They've really, I mean, like I'm biased obviously because I do some stuff for them. I was just an affiliate, and then I started doing like some, you'll see like the Friday Shorts video, do that for them as well now. So I am obviously slightly biased, but for the last 5 years, I've been saying TradeZero is the best broker for international, especially people starting out. Fuck, like you get big account privileges with a small account. So if you want to be with them, I can get you a discount. Just it's on my Twitter profile, Junk87, the link. But like that's not to discredit other brokers. Like I'm sure like Speed Trader, Cobra, the fucking shit hot as well. I don't know Cobra, but Speed Trader shit hot. But like TradeZero is a gap in the market, just being totally transparent. How do you know when a float turned over has happened? When does it start and when does it end? On Stocks to Trade, or if, like Stocks to Trade has it in the bottom left. It's got your float. So you just look and it's got the volume. So if the volume passes the float, it's rotated. I also use flash-sec.com that scans. I can show you guys it real quick. One sec. This is like another like hack that people probably don't want you to know, but I'm not bothered. I'm also actually an affiliate of these, believe it or not. But flash-sec.com, so like for example, they will like their system scans SEC filings, and it gives you like up-to-date numbers, so you don't need to worry about stuff. So like it scans like so if you look at shares outstanding, it's hyperlinked. If you click that, it goes to the 10Q that tells you the latest 10Q. So the latest records registered with like Companies House America or BAM SEC or the SEC or whatever, the latest files from the company registered with the government for like legal purposes are scanned by Flash SEC. So like, but like it picks up like all the warrants, all of the financial information, like what's the current level of what, how much are they planning to dilute the stock and by how much, and how much has been diluted. Like that used to be a nightmare to like try and work out how much dilution had gone on, to like work out how much it was going to be diluted, to work out if it was a long or a short. Like that was a nightmare. But now it's like, all right, look at that, a 300 million shelf. They've done it. Got no value left in the shelf. Or they've got a 424B5, yeah, 350 million. HC Wainwright, the fucking devil of shitty companies. But then they've got some other active shelves here where they've got like shelf here, 30 million, and they've still got 12 million left. This is the company like diluting to raise money to survive in the stock market. And Flash SEC is very good for up-to-date information, floats, market caps, cash equivalents, what it burns, and especially warrants, exercise prices, dilution. Like these fundamentals that I've just shown you here, they are the fucking difference of whether, I mean, look, if I see a short on the daily, I'll take it off. If I see a long on the daily, like with a technical daily setup, I'll take it. But the information on flashsec.com is the difference of how much size I take. If that's heavily diluted and a lot of dilution to go in a higher float, I'll smash that motherfucker with conviction. But if it's like a lower float and it's got good cash situation, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't short this. Or if I do, it's small size, tight stop because it's like a bit of a reckless or a boredom trade. So Flash SEC are really good. And I can't remember. I think if you use Jonk87, JONK87, you also get a discount off them as well. Because like when I brought out my guide, they said like, oh, we'll give you like fucking $5 for every $50 or something. So I don't make a lot, but like please like use Jonk87 only, not for the money, but because I want them to know that I'm doing good by them. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll not make much more than $20 a month, I don't think. How do you know if I've answered that. Please tell me, why did you short ETH pre-market? Yeah, because it's a one and done. I mean, I can. We'll try and close on ETH. I'll close on this question if I can. Just see what the other ones are first. Also, what kind of sample size do you have for the setups you listed? For the gap and craps and stuff, I've got like 3 or 4 years, 500 plus gap as. Like I've got a guide. I don't want to go promo on it, but I've got a guide that gives like all of the data, and it's 5 hours into how I created the data, how I analyzed it, how I turned it into having a competitive edge. Check me Twitter because I don't want to push it here, but there's like a 5-hour guide on fucking how I got profitable and all the data-driven approach. Jonk87 on Twitter. It's the same as my name here. The name's there. Just check that on Twitter. I've got links to everything. If you're a short high volume, it's a fucking brilliant question, brother. I can tell that you've been following. I can tell that you've been following us. I know your face from, I don't know if you bought the guide, but I can see it's a great question. Hang on. It's having a whiskey and coke because when the market's quiet, I've got nothing else to do with my life at 6 p.m. on a Friday or a Wednesday. The only regret is I don't have more whiskey. What have I got to do tomorrow? Nothing. Just wake up and trade again. Like, this is my life. Don't have work calls. Don't have fucking meetings. Don't have deadlines. Don't have pressure. All I do is what I want when I want. And if I wake up with a fucking hangover because I got whiskey fight tonight, then do you know what I do? I fucking either drink more whiskey or I go to the gym and sweat it out. With the market being quiet, I might drink more whiskey, but more than likely I'll sweat it out because I'm trying to be a better person in life. But getting to the question, if you short a high volume resistance, but the volume begins to pick up more than you're comfortable with, do you look to cover? Yeah, like I say, it's a fucking excellent question. And it's funny because that was the problem that I had, right? The biggest problem that I had was I was getting in and out so fast and building size and cutting that if I saw a push in volume, I'd be getting out like that. The problem is if I hesitate or I'm stubborn or I'm emotional or that trade didn't go my way and I decide to like hold it or add, even when the volume goes against us, a high volume resistant short can turn into a very dangerous low volume resistant short. And you might have a plan saying this is going to trade 10 million today. And all of a sudden that million candle, million volume in the minute comes in. That 10 million volume where you predict 10 million volume, 10% above the opening price based on all of this data and analysis. But then that's your plan. But then when that million minute comes in and all of a sudden you're forecasting 100 million, your size big for only a 10% move. But what you might have is a 50% move. And that's where my risk reward was completely off. Not completely off, but it was unless you're like, if you're a fucking robot, that is the way to trade. Made great money, $600 into $600 into 100,000. I turned 699. Then I took like a 20 grand loss. And then I realized, I was like, look, it's a phenomenal way to trade, but if you lose your head off, the market goes wrong. It's just not the right way. So what I've come to learn is that only to protect yourself and safeguard yourself, you say, I'm going to take this trade with this risk level as a high volume resistant short with this size. And then if it breaks it, I need to reevaluate the situation. Why did it break? Is it a volume increase? Did the plan just not work? Did news come out? All of these things. So the point is, I'm not like short cover, short cover, short cover, add, and then it squeezes. Short, full size, and then I just let the big picture work. And if that squeezes, I've got to stop in, and I'm like, well, there's no emotion. Like the trade didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's reevaluate. It's not like I'm trading like one size. I'm not like I'm not scalping for 4%, 5% with size. I'm playing less size, big picture. If the trade doesn't work, I lose $200 risk. But when you're like going in and out with size, your risk is 2%. So if it squeezes and you lose 10, you're fucked. Unless you cut it quick. And I wasn't cutting it quick all the time. So the answer is, I think the old way I traded was probably, there was a slight more edge in it if you had like the best, fastest reaction time and discipline and you're not human. But for me, I can make even more money by just playing the big picture because I don't get emotionally involved and I can just size it up way bigger. Like I can size the strategy up, I can size it up more and I can take bigger percentages because I'm not just scalping out. It's the best way I can explain it. I hope I explained it well. It's a brilliant question. It's the best question of probably this year that I've been asked. This is you and this is me. Yeah. Yes, it is, sir. Like this is me and that is you. And this is me and that is you. Like that is you. You're a human and I'm also a human. We're both humans in this earth. It's crazy. I'll try and get back to a couple of these. Do you trade Doge? Nah, kind of need to, but I can't be bothered getting to it. Though I saw Will Carman's name pop up there. When did you get so goddamn handsome? When I got a haircut and ran a bit, but still single and no girlfriend, working on it. Somehow I lost $26. Nothing to be ashamed of. If it broke your risk, it broke your risk. How do you see the possible liquidity trap of, all right, this question interests us. Let's take a look. Fuck, did I close stocks to trade down? Let's, so there's a couple of questions. They're actually really coming in now. I think it just took to get started. When shorting, what size float do you stay away from? None. I'll short anything. Short 1 million, short 2 million, short 10 million. Sometimes I'll even short 500,000. The key is to always have a plan, and often with low floats, put stops in. So, because what people don't think about with low floats is they might run fast, they might rise fast, but they also fall as fast as they rise. So it's just always having a plan and stick to it. If you play a big picture, you're like, all right, well, I'm short at 1, risking 105. If I'm stopped, I'll reevaluate. But if I'm right, then maybe there's 40 cents of downside. And when you're sitting 20% up on a trade, you are not worried about the float. You're just up a lot. Thank you for the answer. I bought your guide. Yeah, I can fucking tell. I can absolutely tell because the question is a good question. I bought your guide and I've been shorting this month, just trying to figure out how your trading changed in the last few weeks. It's more based on risk, but it's not changed. It's just slightly based on risk. Hit is, how do I do this? Hit is on email, Damon. I presume your email is. It is on that. and I'll try and coach you a little bit better on the changes that I've made. Like, you've bought the guide, I want to help you more. Great question, and you've bought the guide, you've got a good understanding, so I just want to help you more. So just use that, and I'll chat to you a bit more to try and get you to the next level. ATH we've already discussed. SPCB, please short daddy. All right, hang on, we can go. Let's go full screen. I don't like you calling this daddy unless you're like a really fucking. I'm going to say that. SPCB. It's up 1%. It's not a short. Thank you, Ravi. Nice to see you, brother. We need to get a game of poker. It just pisses us off when I lose. Fan said that. How do you see on the possible? Okay, so MTSL. I think I know this. I think I was short this. I mean, it's not a liquidity trap. Like, you're short. If you're short on this day, you cover worst, like at the latest the next day. You should not be in it on any other day, really, unless you cover in the next day other than this day. And on this day, there's 90 million. So that is not a liquidity trap at all. I don't get it. What else we got? All right, we've got AG, PSLV. If someone can remind us what the guy asked that I said I'd come back to, I forgot. AG's mid-range, nothing, and it's up 2%. Absolutely nothing to look at there. Dude, what are you trading? These stocks have got zero volatility. They're very. You're just punting silver stocks, so they're all silver. Dude, these stocks fucking below. Very, very bad contribution. But I know you, Mark Chan, so thank you for trying. Sorry for being a dick. Trying my best to be a good person. There's that good question. Yeah. So is it eighth? I kind of already explained eighth, but we'll go back. Great lesson, thanks. All right, so eighth, yeah. So eighth, we'll go over this one more time, but we'll try and go through it in some detail. But eighth, the daily is that it fails every time, and this is good for the guy who bought the guide. I forgot his name. Diamond, yeah, Diamond. It's a good lesson for him as well. So on 100 million volume, gaps and fails. Bit of a push at the open, but gaps and fails. 100 million volume, it does the same. So if it like gaps, pushes a bit, and look, do you notice that this push was bigger because it's 52-week highs, then this push is smaller on the same volume because it's lower. But then this push is almost non-existent because it's lower again, like a bouncing ball to the downside, and it's got less volume. So like that's what I'm kind of looking at, like chart history and demand versus supply. So for me, like this just hasn't really got any shot at running. And then if you look at the news on Ether, it was actually Parkinson's news, drug news, but which I thought looked all right. But the other thing that you've got to look at, and this is what I'll leave you guys on, and this is how important Flash FCC is. And please use, like I say, if you sign up, it's cheap as hell. But if you sign up, please quote me Junk87 name. But an ATHE, the float is 15 mil. And so that's 15 million float, 15 million publicly traded. They've got a 424B5 to say that they're ready to dilute 50 mil. I don't see anything else. So they've got a 15 mil float, but they're going to sell $50 million worth of stock pretty soon because they've only got a month and a bit of cash left. So with ETH, like I know that from this day in the 2s and 3s and 350s, everyone's bagged. Like everyone's bagged. Like, look, there's no volume. Really, there's not really any volume to let many people out of this. Like it had a 5 million day that might have let a third of the float out because everyone was like, say everyone who went long this bagged. Then when it pushes, yeah, maybe a third of them got out, and then they're all bagged again, plus some new people. So this volume was like 40 million. I get it, but I'm trading it in the morning, right? So in the morning, it's only traded like 6, 7, 8 million. Vast majority are people from this day want to get out, and this day want to get out. So like when this gaps up, everyone's like, "Oh, it's down this much," and then it come down, and I didn't cut me loss, and then I made some back, and I could have got out for this, but then I didn't cut me loss again, and now I'm definitely going to cut me loss for this. Like this is what people are thinking. So with this, and then with the double top, like I say, it wasn't a great trade, but with the double top, with the history of gap and craps, with the bag holders needing to get out, with the very low volume, with the high volume resistance short pattern that I've like tracked 500 examples of, it's just like, it's not going to go. It's not going to go. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not going to go. And that's it. Simple as that. So I hope I've been of help. Around 40 minutes, pretty crazy. 41, 42. Great to see a decent amount of you guys here. Like, it makes us want to stay on, and I did stay on for that reason. Great to get some participation. And I think what I'm going to try and do, I saw Tim Bowen do this, and I wonder if I can I'm going to try this. I've never tried it before. Hang on. I just want to leave you with being on a high. So I've got some epic inspirational background music for videos. See what this sounds like. Oh, wow. So yeah, we can go with this. So I just want you guys to know, I just want you to feel that your dream is possible. I want you to feel that with enough hard work and perseverance and enough of those hours grinding while other people are partying, more of them hours where every failure is an opportunity to step closer to success. I want you to just realize, feel, think, and believe that you can be a success. You can be the one. You can be the 1 in a million, the 10% that just overturn the odds. Fuck what your parents say. Fuck what your school says. Fuck the curriculum. You can make it. You can be the doer. You can be the doer of doers. Just takes a little bit of fucking faith. Peace. God bless. Live the fucking dream.